We are in Washington this morning. We're already about a little more than halfway into our trip to Oregon, where we're going to be meeting up with Rue McKenrick and starting a new documentary about the American Perimeter Trail. He just hiked around the whole circumference of America, over 14,000 miles of hiking. And we're going to meet him out there and hike with him for about a week. Well, he hikes into Bend, Oregon, which will kind of complete his full loop. Grass fire.
Is it a controlled burn? I don't see anybody controlling it.
We made it to Mount Hood, and now we're in government camp just below the mountain, where we're gonna meet Rue. We've done a lot of talking to him on the phone so far, but we've never actually met in person. That looks like Rue.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too.
Good to see you here.
Yeah.
Very good to see you in person.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, man.
Good to see you in person.
Oh, man. Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
How are you?
nice to meet you.
Yeah.
All right, we are packing up, getting all the gear ready. Probably gonna be bringing my main camera, GoPro, lavalier mics that are wireless. So Rue will wear this. That'll send the signal to this, which will be plugged into this audio recorder. Got a drone in here for the times that we're not in the wilderness. And then this bag is just full of batteries and also a wired lav mic that I'll probably use for interviews. So Amy's gonna be driving the car and meeting us where she can if there is ever road access near the trail.
Gotta get you food.
Yeah.
So I've done that before.
We have a nutritionist from Backcountry Foodie, Erin, and so she has like gone through our meals. So I try to eat healthy as possible. You can see there's a lot of oats here. I always get one of these every time, and you can see they're pretty extensive. So these are from Layla Grace, who is the VP of the American Perimeter Trail Conference. I have been alone this entire time on the trek except for a photojournalist here or there. And so that stuff means the absolute. Let's see, I'm gonna get emotional every time I talk about this and open these boxes. I get emotional when I see how much time and care was put into this, not by Layla, but by other people that they've had groups together where they've just all met in one spot and assembled meals for me. And this is our APT logo here. That's the official logo. This is just like a depiction that Layla painted. And so we've been using that a little bit. And like I said, that's the official APT symbol right there. So this is gonna go into Bend, Oregon. I think we'll get this on a stick or on a pole so I can carry this sucker in when I walk in. I'm excited.
There goes Amy. So the plan is that we're gonna hike, I think only about 10-11 miles today. Amy's gonna be able to drive close to us, and then she's gonna have to hike in, and she'll bring in some supplies for us and batteries and everything. So we only have to hike one day, unsupported right now.
I will tell you, if you are somewhere and there's disgusting water and that's all there is, just drink it. But the whole point is you need to make it out of the backcountry with your life. So got to one of these water sources and it became necessary to drink it. It smelled like piss. It was full of macroinvertebrates,
So all these things swimming through it, but I over-treated it and I ended up dumping it all out.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I didn't know if I put a toxic level of bleach in it, because that's what I treated it with, was just straight up bleach you would buy at the supermarket. I walked on for another day to where there was supposed to be an operational solar well, and I could not believe my eyes when I got to the culvert and looked and saw that it was empty. That night I did not sleep. I was so dried out. The inner passages of my nose were cracking, so I was getting nosebleeds. My lips were cracking. And all I could think of was water, just jumping into a lake, just having the water just drowning. So I knew that there was a place the next day that I could get to water. I got cramps in places I didn't even think I could get cramps, like in my face, and I got a cramp in my armpit, and I get to where this water is supposed to be, and there's a corral. However, there was a barrier between me and the culvert because there was a bull inside of the corral. I don't know why it was there. It was probably going to starve to death because it appeared to be stuck in there. But I was a man on fire. I was like a crazy man. I mean, if you take water from someone for that long, the desperation will get you to a point to do just about anything. This would probably be day 3 at this point. I had fire in my eyes. It felt like rage. So without even thinking about it, I dropped my pack and climbed up that corral and jumped in. And I went after that bull with vengeance. And I kicked it like right in its hindquarters, and it started running around and it came back towards me. And then I chased it and I yelled at it. And then I punched it a couple times in the back. Now keep in mind, I'm not cruel, I'm desperate. I think animals can probably sense when another animal has lost their damn mind. The bull tried to get out of the corral, and it jumped up onto the corral and got stuck. Like it was almost teetering. And I'm standing behind it, punching it in its butt while it's kicking at me. It like managed to buck its way over. It fell over the corral and kind of fell onto the ground on its front quarters and like head. And then it kind of just got up like nothing had happened, and then just kind of walked away. I went over to the corral, got down on my knees, pulled the lid off, and looked, and there was water inside, and I began to weep, and there were no tears. I was too dried out. There was nothing left to even make tears with, but I wept with gratitude that this was not going to be yet another day without water. Oh my God. I have never had this happen before.
What just happened?
I am not joking. I have never, ever, ever I can tell you exactly what just happened. We just did a loop. I am severely embarrassed right now.
We've been hiking for probably 2 hours. At least 2 hours. And we just ended up right back in the same place that we started.
I think we just entered a vortex. There is something that is going on that is just wants me to learn this lesson about being present and being humble. Because when I lose sight of it, I end up right back to where I started. This would be an example.
That's pretty
Well, I was supposed to hike maybe 2 miles tops to get to these boys and give them their food for the next few days. However, that road no longer exists. So, I'm gonna have to hike 4 miles and to give them their food. That wouldn't be a big problem, but today we just got a late start in the day and all my maps aren't loading and nothing's kind of working out very well. But I made it to one spot that I know that I can get to the PCT, and I don't know if my message will get to them or not, but I have their food, so I'm gonna have to get to them. And that's all that there is to it. Well, it's 9 p.m. and it's pitch black, but we've made it to the Pacific Crest Trail. Hopefully we can run into Alex and Rue soon and I can get back to the car. That'd be great.
When I realized what was happening, it's like my heart just sunk into my stomach.
I think Alex and I have a curse. Any adventure we do, we take the hardest path every time.
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell Rue. I think his thing is cursed too. We're all cursed out here.
You know, I interviewed with NPR once, and the person who was doing the interview called it biblical. he's like, so you had a tree fall on you, and he's like, gosh, this is biblical.